Merry Christmas! Woo! Wow, none of the confetti fell. How's it going, guys? My name is Bandit the Craft Bros, and this is a Storytime Tuesday. I need a cool intro for Storytime Tuesdays. But no, this is gonna be an awesome Storytime Tuesday for it's Christmas, and I have a Christmas story, and let's get to it. Oh, by the way, okay, so this is so I'm gonna do a week that's real or a week that's not real. I forget who does that, but it's a really good idea because I don't have like tons of stories, but I have like cool ones. So, like 1 week's gonna be a lie, and then another week's gonna be another lie. Another week's gonna be a truth, and a lie, and then truth, or whatever. But yeah, and then you guys are gonna tell me in the description if it's real or not real. Oh, and then the last story was the first story was real. Congratulations if you guessed the first story. The second story, obviously, it wasn't real, so sorry for on that. Your little captions of who got it right should be popping up here. This is who got it right. Very nice. This is who got it wrong. But, yeah, let's get to the story. So, this story begins with me being, back-talking, I guess, to my mom, and she's like, "You need something that'll make you structured and a nice young man." And I'm like, oh God. So she's like, "You should get signed up for choir." I'm like, the hell is choir? And she's like, "It's where you sing." And I'm like, okay, cool, singing. So I get one of my friends, one of my good buddies. He's like, "Yeah, I'll do it with you. It sounds kind of lame. I don't want you to do it by yourself." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, bro. That's awesome." So a week or and a half later, something like that, I arrive at choir, little thing. I walk in there. This is like a year ago, probably. I walk in there, and rows of girls, like rows, and so many girls. I was just like, I love choir, but I grew super tall this year. Like I'm 5'11" now, and a year ago I was probably like 5'4" or something. Not 5'4", but like 5'5" or something like that. Yeah, so I was pretty short. Not saying that's short to any people that are that right now, but anyway, I wasn't the tallest guy. So the first week where they're basically seeing if everyone could sing in a kind of group and stuff like that. So that was cool. And I started talking to all the girls, of course. You know, why wouldn't I? And the next week comes rolling around, and they start pairing us up in like pairs, tallest to shortest. So I'm just like, oh God, this is gonna be embarrassing. So of course I get put into the second shortest group. The first group was like 6-year-olds. So I'm just standing there like, and my buddy, he was like a tall guy, so he's with like all like the older girls. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever. And I noticed, so I'm standing there. I'm just like, I hate my life. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, and there's this girl there, and I'm just like, dang, because she's hot. She's pretty, and so I'm like, okay, whatever. Right, let's see if I can make good out of any of this. So I walk over there, and I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm like, oh, I got put in the short division, cool division. You know, I'm like flirting or whatever. You know, like what I did, and like this is actually like a year and a half ago. So I think I was like in what 8th grade, maybe 7th or 8th grade. I forget. It was like 2 years ago. But so you know, I'm talking the whole time, and then the next week rolls over. I've been texting her, and like the next week rolls over, and she's there again, obviously. So I talk to her again, and then because I didn't magically grow over the next week, so I'm still in her group. And by the end of a few months, this girl, we weren't dating, but like, you know what I mean? Like everyone kind of knew something was up, but nothing. We're like, we don't like each other. That's weird. Well, I had to do like this freaking little little stupid dance all the short people had to do because they were in the front row, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is stupid. Well, we did the show. It was awesome, and she texts me and she's like, hey, you should come to the back of the stage. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Go around there, and like she like was talking to me and she asked me if I wanted to be her girlfriend, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be your girlfriend. And then yeah, like that happened, and this was like a week later, and there was like another show after this, and you got a grade for this choir thing. You got like a little bit of grade, and my mom said if I didn't do good in the grade, I would like get grounded. I forget what she said would happen, but she said something would happen. So the next week rolls over, and I walk in like I usually do, and there's like this hush over all the people there. Once I walk in, so I'm just like, okay, and I don't see this girl. I'm just like, what's going on? So I go and I stand in the corner, and I just pull out my cell phone. I'm just like texting away, just kind of like, like I don't know. I didn't know what was going on. So she comes walking up, okay, with our choir instructor, and they're both kind of looking at me. I'm just like, what's up? And the choir instructor had her come over, and he's like, can I talk to you, young man? And I'm like, yeah. And he like brings me into the hallway, and he's like, who's my daughter? And I'm just like, I don't know, who's it? And then it hits me, I'm like, oh god. And this chick, let's call her Megan Fox. It's just, okay. He's like, my dog is Megan Fox. No, my daughter is Megan. And I'm just like, of course it is. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't say that, but I was just like, oh, well, shit. So, he talks to me for a little, and then I go out, and then he puts me, like, we put into groups again, same groups, but it's like 3 or 4 people had to go up and sing lead out of everyone, the group, and I'm just like, oh god, he's gonna pick me, isn't he? He's gonna pick me. Yeah, he's gonna. Guess who he picks? Me. And I have a horrible voice, so I'm just like, oh my god. So he's like, we have to practice. Get up there. And he's like, let's pick someone random out of the 4 people that are gonna sing lead. Let's pick one of them to test their skills. And he's like, who should we pick? You. And he like points at me, and oh my god, come in. I'm making a video. Get out. Sorry. My little brother came in. So he's like, you. I'm just like, of course. Why wouldn't you pick me? I mean, why? That's random selection, right? And he's like, okay, get up here and sing. And I go up there and I'm like, I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? I was like, sing. I'm not gonna be like, oh, like awesome. I don't know what he was expecting me to do. Well, then he starts saying that I'm not like trying hard enough, and I'm like, dude, I can't sing. And he's like, and I say that, I'm like, I cannot sing. And he's like, oh, you're not even gonna try. And I'm like, I'm freaking trying, I can't sing. And he's getting mad at me, and I'm just like, what's going on? And the whole class is like laughing at me, so I'm just like, oh. Well, he's like, I'm gonna have to downgrade you on your grade. I was just like, oh, I get you. I got you. And he's like, unless you try harder. And I'm just like, I can't sing. I was thinking that, but I'm like, okay, I'll try harder. And he's like, good. And I'm like, good. So do it again, I can't sing. And he's like, that's not hard enough. And he's like getting mad at me. I'm like, I can't sing. And he's like getting pissed off at me. Well, the next week, we all get our grades. Okay? And I get a 5 out of, 35 or 40? I get a 5 out of 35 or 40 out of participation. And I was like, oh my god. And like an hour after I get my grade, like after I leave the choir, she texts me and she's like, "Hey, my dad said that I can't date you anymore." And I'm just like, "Oh God, freaking God." So that's my story. I mean, it's not like a super exciting one, but I just thought it was crazy that since I was dating the leader's daughter, that he would fail me in choir. How do you fail choir? I got like a F, I think. I got an F or so. Oh my God, I got an F or like a D minus. I don't know. I got a horrible grade. It was horrible, but yeah. I mean, it's freaking you. I don't even know. He freaking failed me because I was dating his daughter. What a jerk. But anyway, guys, you tell me if that was real or that wasn't real. And yeah, make sure you comment, and I'll put a little screen cap of you on the screen when I say who got it right and who got it wrong. But yeah, guys, if you could drop that like, that would be awesome. Also, if you could go check out my other channel, The Craft Bros, and check out my other videos and stuff. Yeah, guys, have an awesome Christmas, or hopefully you had an awesome Christmas, because this is 9:30. I gotta upload this really fast. But yeah, hopefully you had an awesome Christmas. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. And yeah, guys, as always, Tipper Vampires. Merry Christmas. And yeah, peace, guys. Look at us.